Alright guys, what's going on? It's Mike. So in this video we're just going to do basically a website teardown for Brett Cooks. He's asked me to have a look at his website and see what I think in terms of how effective it is from a marketing perspective. Now he's agreed to let me do this video to share it with all of you, and I think it'll be really useful. So I think this is a new website for Brett and his bootcamp that he's just had designed. And again, he just wanted, I think, somebody with a bit of marketing knowledge to have a look at it and see what they thought from a marketing perspective. I'm not really going to comment too much on the design because that's not my field of expertise. So this video is obviously completely unscripted. There'll probably be some waffling in here, but it'll be 100% useful, especially if you are dealing with your own website. And you just want to make it better, make it more effective, make it convert better, etc. So anyway, this is Brett's website. And just before we dive into the different elements of Brett's website and what I think, this is the framework that I've pieced together after, I've been studying copywriting now for 8 years. I've read all the books, done all the courses. I've had a lot of copywriting mentors. For example, if you read Gary Halbert's books, he talks about AIDA, attention, interest, desire, action, and there's various formulas like that. So this is the framework I put together, and these are basically the 4 questions that whether it's a funnel, a video, a website, a landing page, doesn't matter what it is, you basically need to be able to answer these 4 questions to get a conversion. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes you'll emphasize some questions over others. Like on a home page, you don't want to go too much into why now. So that's all urgency and scarcity, and that's what your sales funnel is for. But these are the 4 questions that you want to cover to some degree across literally everything. So when I'm looking at a website and I'm building out websites for trainers, which I do via my PT website over here. I will go into this in a second. This is the framework that I start with. I don't start with a design per se. I start with these 4 questions. How can we accurately describe what this thing does, what Brett's Bootcamp does, in a catchy way that gets their attention? How can we explain how it works that gets them interested, etc., etc. So this is my framework. So this is what we're going to use to judge Brett's website. So you can see at the top of his new website, he's got, I'll say, it looks very nice. It looks really well designed, and it does look nice. But do you think it answers this question? What does it do? For me personally, it doesn't. It says it's a bootcamp because it's in the name, Busy Ladies Bootcamp. All right, cool. But then get active, live life, join now. What does that, what is that? Get active, live life. All right, cool. That just sounds like a motivational quote you might post on your Instagram or something. It doesn't really answer this question, at least for me. What does it do? So that's straight off the bat. So let's scroll down. Got some fancy animations, which, by the way, it's really interesting. Website conversions and stuff. The more animations and stuff like that, the more fancy your website, generally the less well it converts. So yeah, something to keep in mind. So we've got here, are you ready for change? Hardest part is knowing where to start, etc., etc. So again, judging by my framework, what does it do, and then how does it work? So here we've not really covered that at all. We're just asking them, are they ready for change? That's a yes or no question, which is generally a really bad idea to ask somebody on a web page a yes or no question, because for a busy mum, which that's Brett's avatar, busy mum, deciding to pursue weight loss seriously is a massive decision. And so asking a direct question like this, are you ready for a change, could be really easy for them to go, not really, I'm just browsing. kind of thing, if that makes sense. But regardless of that, it doesn't really explain any more about what it does, doesn't explain how it works. So we've got this video here. I've already played this video, but we'll click it. You can see it's not actually playing very well. So this probably needs to be hosted somewhere different where it is going to stream better. I've got full Wi-Fi over here, so this should be playing right about now, but there we go. So I've already watched this video. Cool, so I've already watched this video, and it is a good video. In my opinion, this video should be at the top here, right at the top here. And the reason for that is because it shows what it is. Now, obviously, as I'm recording this right now, it is Thursday, 14th, 2020. Coronavirus is in full swing. Hopefully we're going to come out soon. Everybody's on lockdown, so people can't actually get into the gym. But when things get back to normal, this video does a good job of showing exactly what it is. So this video should be right at the top here. Like, this image in the background is nice because it gives like a nice community feel or whatever, but I want to see that video right there. Because again, it just answers the question of like, this first question, like, what does it do? Well, if I can see a video of people working out, doing all sorts of different kinds of functional type exercises, working out in groups, working out individually, well, I know what it does. I know what it is. Right? You don't really need too much in the way of text to explain that then. So that video for me needs to be moved right up here. Because it answers that question. So then we've got all this section here. To me, this just seems a little bit random. Because we've got a mixture of features and benefits. You know, so like make a change. That's not a feature or a benefit, really. That's neither. That's just really not anything, to be honest. Progress monitoring, that's a feature. Nutrition help, feature. Amazing support, feature. None of that's bad, by the way. Features are completely fine, but you want to explain to people. So this kind of fits in the section of like, how does it work, right? So what this section should be doing is explaining how Brett's Bootcamp gets people or gets women the results that they get, right? And then when you explain the features, so nutrition support, nutrition coaching would be better. Instead of just saying we offer nutritional advice including thousands of recipes, etc., right? Like, so that's just a feature. Lots of trainers say that. What we want to do is, let me see if I can get a text thing open. Just get rid of that. So what we want to do is, so I call this my 3F structure. Again, I've learned this and put this together myself over the years of learning from different copywriting experts, way smarter than myself. So we've got feature, function, and feeling, right? So we can see here, Brett's got, okay, we give you nutrition help, we offer nutritional advice, including thousands of recipes. Okay, cool. So what? You know, like that's always a good question to ask. So what? What does that mean? What does that do for my life? So if we put here feature, we'll put nutrition coaching, thousands of recipes. Okay, cool. What does that do for me, right? That's where this question comes in. So what? Like, what's the function? Whoever's built this website, no offense to them, they've done an amazing job with the design. It looks great. Obviously not a copywriter, because this doesn't really answer, okay, I get nutrition help, but what does that do for me? If that makes sense. Like, it's not going to be obvious for your prospects or prospective clients what that even means. Nutrition help, what does that mean? You're going to give me a diet book and tell me to crack on? Are you going to give me a PDF of recipes and tell me to crack on like the last trainer did? Are you going to just give me some macro numbers to hit somehow, like the last trainer did, like what does that even mean, right? So that's why I use this every time I write stuff like this, like bullet points, etc. I call it the 3F structure. So it's feature, function, and feeling. So because people want to know what it does for them, right? So feature, we've got nutrition coaching, thousands of recipes. Function, let's go with something like makes it super easy to know exactly what to eat and when for best results. Right, so that's the function. That's what it'll do for me. Cool, makes it really easy to know what to eat and when for best results. Feeling. I'll put something like you'll almost feel like you're cheating because you'll still be able to eat family-friendly meals and get results, right? This is just off the cuff. So if we put all of this together now, so you can see we'll put this side by side with Brett's thing here, right? So instead of nutrition help, we've gone with nutrition coaching. And you can see Brett's one over here on the side. So I'm just going to copy. So what you get. So let's just go with that. So we offer personalized nutrition coaching with a unique system that's filled with thousands of family-friendly recipes, right? So that's just still the feature. All I'm doing is rewriting this feature bit. And then all I'm going to do is copy this. So this is the function. The function is what does it do for me? Right? This makes it super easy to know exactly what to eat and when for best results. And then how am I going to feel once I get that function? You'll almost feel like you're cheating because you'll still be able to eat family-friendly meals and get results. We could even go further and put get consistent results. Obviously, I'm just coming up with this off the top of my head, but you can see how easy that makes it, right? So feature, function, feeling, and you can see how different the two are. So we've got Brett's over here, nutrition help. We offer nutritional advice, including thousands of recipes that will help. Okay, sounds a bit corporate, a bit bland. Or nutrition coaching, we offer personalized nutrition coaching with our unique system that's filled with thousands of family-friendly recipes. This makes it super easy to know exactly what to eat and when for best results. You'll almost feel like you're cheating because you'll still be able to eat family-friendly meals and get consistent results. There we go. And there's 1,000 different ways that you could write that, but if you follow that feature, function, feeling, that will be a lot. All of these things will be a lot stronger. So that's a big recommendation for Brett and for anyone watching this video, really. So that's how I would do it, because then that answers how does it work, right? So once people know what it does, so what does it do? Like what is it and what does it do? So in this case, right, it's a boot camp. So let's say if Brett moves this video up here, doesn't really need too much text going on. They know it's a boot camp. It's a women's boot camp. Okay, cool. How does this work? Right. The big question here is it going to be the same as the BSPT that I had before? And that's where this section comes in and written properly, like I've just shown you how to do over here. It will appeal to them logically and emotionally, and that's what copywriting is all about. So that will cover that. And then the next question, why this versus basically any alternative, right? So we've got social proof here, which is really good. And this kind of feeds into why this. So this is really good. Nothing wrong with that. Again, this is all just a bit vague. This is just all a bit random, really, to be honest. So we just want to answer why this versus the alternative. We don't have to go crazy salesy here. If we've done this section right and we've written it using this feature, function, feeling approach, then this question, like why this versus the last personal trainer or the last boot camp or the last diet that I tried, it will become obvious to them like why this is different, right? Because that's what people are wondering, like why this one? Like I've tried 17 things before, I'm still overweight. Why this, right? Like why should I try this one? And if you've done it like this, again, it will appeal to them logically and emotionally. And just by way of communicating it better and more clearly than your competitors, that'll make you stand out. I know that sounds crazy, but like most PTs have websites like Brett's, like this, that are just, again, they look really nice. Like they look, really well designed. The images are great, nice community feel. Other than that, though, doesn't really make me want to click anywhere. Like, join our family. What family? Like, the bootcamp family. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it just doesn't make me want to do anything. So if you can just like communicate what you do more clearly, you're automatically going to get more leads, more customers, more applications, and it's automatically going to answer this question for your clients, like why this versus the alternative, which in Brett's case, the alternatives are only the alternatives in Doncaster. Obviously right now, coronavirus, there are online options as well, but assuming Brett is still marketing to people in Doncaster, which he should be, and I think he is, then they'll still be considering other trainers in Doncaster, if that makes sense. Cool. And then, yeah, nothing else to say on that. So if I click join now, let's see here. So this is obviously an application form. So it asks them what they want to achieve, which is great. How can we contact you? This will put people off because people are quite scared about getting on sales calls and being pressured into buying something. People are quite scared about that kind of thing, which is why, when I ran my online fitness business, I did all my sales via text messaging. And still in 2020, a lot of people don't believe that I did that. But I did do that. And I launched Simplified Body, the software, and I launched it, selling it for 200 quid a month using text messaging. My application form was basically like, what's your phone number? I'll text you, like I'm not calling you. And to be honest, I mostly did it because I didn't want to phone people. But what I found was like, it worked just as well, if not better than phone calls. So in my opinion, this might, like how can we contact you? This might put people off. Obviously you want their contact details, but you probably just want to rephrase this to like, where shall we send all the information? Something like that, right? So they feel like, they're not going to get hounded by a salesperson. They're just going to receive some information about the bootcamp, which is what they want, And same goes for this, like join today. They're not going to join without having spoken to somebody. They're not going to just join online and give you their payment details, which you're not asking for them anyway. So again, you just need to reframe this, like, like where should we send all the information kind of thing. And then this, don't really need this. I know legally, you can make an argument that legally you kind of need it, but from speaking to lawyers and accountants and different people like that, you don't really need this. The fact that somebody would have come here and filled out this form and selected all these different fields, like, and actively done all of this, and then put in all the details and then click this button is enough for GDPR. Completely enough. So don't really need that. Other stuff, reviews. Reviews are always good. One thing I wanted to bring up is he's got Facebook reviews here and he's sending people off to Facebook. I would embed those reviews on the website. There's no reason at all to send them away from the website, like off to Facebook. Because the website really, if you think about it, right, like if you just want a brochure website that doesn't really do anything but looks nice, then this is the kind of thing that you want. Whereas I'm always coming from it from the angle of like your website needs to convert in terms of, for every 10 people that land on your website, at least 2 or 3 of them should be, either applying or signing up for your lead magnet or getting on your email list or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It just needs to do something, because otherwise, like why just have a brochure website that looks nice but doesn't really do anything? Because websites cost money these days, you know. So for these reviews, I would have these reviews embedded in the page. Like, you know, don't send people off the web page. Embed the reviews here. And all these reviews are great. All these are really good. And again, it's just really generic. It's the place to be. Like, okay, cool. Sounds a bit like motivational quotey type stuff. We've got a call to action at the bottom, which is good. Join us today. But again, if somebody's just landed on the website, they're not going to just join right now straight off the website. So just want to reframe that. So instead of join us today, like, you know, get more info about our program, right? It's a softer call to action, and it's easy then for people to take the next step. If I'm a busy mum and I've seen one of Brett's videos on Facebook and I've clicked onto his website and I'm browsing, right? So it's like I'm semi-interested or I'm curious, and then this says join us today. Well, whoa, hang on a minute. I don't want to go that far just yet. But if this just said, you know, request more info about our program, I'll probably click on it. All right, cool. Yeah, I want more info about your program. I'm curious. And then when I come through to here, again, it should say like, you know, get more info about our program. These are fine. These are great. So you know what they do. Okay, where should we send the info? Awesome. And then, you know, as a busy mum that maybe has seen one of Brett's videos, you know, maybe I've seen an Instagram thing and I've clicked through to his website, I'll probably fill that out then, because it's a nice soft call to action. It's not too scary. I'm not worrying about like join, like what am I joining? Hang on, how much is this? I don't even know how much it is. And am I going to get hounded by salespeople like on the phone? Like I don't even know. But if it just said, look, stick in your details, we'll send all the info over like on an email. That's a really soft call to action. So in my mind then I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. Send me the details. I'll fill all this in and then bam, I'm on the email list, right? And then you can do all the selling and stuff from there. Hopefully that makes sense. The only other thing I had to say was about the blog. So over here, so having a blog is good. What I would say is like, you don't really need to be posting content all of the time. You just really need to figure out what are your ideal customers, like 3 to 10 biggest obstacles, and write really good content around that. That's all you need to do, right? And then once you've got that, you don't really need any more than that. And once you've got it, then that just, again, in the minds of your potential customers, clients, prospects, whatever, if they come onto your blog and they can see like, oh yeah, like how to stay motivated, like how to make sticking to your diet even with 3 kids like really easy, like that's all the kind of stuff I'm worried about as a busy mum. So then I'm thinking, wow, like this guy really knows his stuff, like maybe he's the guy to help me. Like that's the feeling you want them to have. And then specifically on the blog here, so I mean there's generally nothing wrong with this, the way this is set up. This is the way like a designer would set up a blog. But for me, what I want to see is, instead of recent posts, I want to see a lead magnet here, right? If I'm a busy mom and I'm coming down here and I'm reading this blog and I'm thinking, yeah, this guy really knows his stuff. If this lead magnet's following me around over here and it's like, you know, the busy mum's guide to, I don't know, like to getting in shape, whatever, right? Like, and it's a lead magnet. I'm just going to click on that, and then that gets me on your email list, and then that's where you can build the relationship, build the trust, demonstrate your expertise, and then get them to apply over time. And I'll either apply straight away or I'll apply over time. So that's the big comment. And then at the bottom of every blog post, again, instead of sending them to other blog posts, I would get rid of this and have a call to action. So you got a call to action here, call to action here. So again, if I'm a busy mum, I come onto the blog, I scroll through, and I'm like, wow, like, he's got this blog about how to stay motivated as a busy mum. Awesome. I click through, I'm reading, I'm thinking, yeah, this guy really knows his stuff. I might opt in here, and if I don't, I keep reading, I keep reading, I keep reading. I get to the bottom, and maybe there's a button or, some kind of offer to, again, opt in for this awesome thing that's going to basically help me out in my life, like solve a problem for me right now. So that's what I would change about the blog. And just to give you guys, not to drag this on too long, but some context, that I'm not just making this stuff up. So this little framework. So I've used this framework on my own website for the Simplified Body Nutrition System. So here, it just says really clearly, like, what does it do? Well, it does this. Like, this is the only nutrition system that does the hard work for you, and that's true. Like, helps you provide clients with expert nutrition. It gets predictable results without becoming a nutritionist. Boom. I know what it does. Go through. So the next question, like, how does it work? So this is all like, what does it do? You don't need this much text, but this is what I wrote for my own website. I'll show you different versions in a sec. So how does it work? Really easy. We know it's verified. We know it's an app. Boom, clients can plan and track all in one place. That's how it works. Easy. Just really, really, really clear. Call to actions all the way through. Really clear. My PT website, which is separate to Simplified Body, but this is me building websites for people like Brett, I guess. So you can see here, I've done it even more clearly. So if we look at these questions again, what does it do? Okay, hey Fit Pros, we build websites that make your competition irrelevant, get you more clients without breaking the bank. Boom. You know what it does. I've got this image here that tells you, that shows you, even if you don't read this, you look at this and you're like, I know what it does, because in there's my website, and if I insert some copywriting, some psychology, and some conversion-focused design, boom, my website would be better, right? So it answers that question. What does it do? Straight away. Scroll down. How does it work? Get started in 3 simple steps. Here's how it works. Do this, do this, do this. Then you get the result, which is a better website. And then, why this versus the alternative? And this is where I go in. Look, let me be blunt. And again, you don't need this much text. You can do this in a video. You can do it with graphics. You can do it however you want. I do it with text because that's just how I like to work. So all I'm saying here is, like, look, like, you can hire some expensive web guy, which Brett has done over here, no offense. You can hire some expensive web guy. Your website's basically going to look really, really nice, but it's not really going to do anything. Right? And then I go into, well, look, I've done this like so many times. There is a formula to this. And I've just given you guys part of that formula over here. So I actually say this, like, there is a formula to this. Like, here's what your expensive web guy won't tell you. Blah, blah, blah. Here are the factors. Like, this is the formula. Right? So you need this thing. You need this thing. You need this thing. Right? So when people are on this website and they're like, well, I know what it does. I know how it works. Well, why this versus the web guy down the road? Well, the web guy down the road isn't talking about the science of getting people to take action. He's not talking about direct response. He's not talking about conversion-focused design. Wow, like, I've never heard this stuff before. This stuff is different. This must be new. Fitness Authority website framework. I've never heard that before. Must be new. Right? And then why now? I've gone a bit light on this because, again, it's a homepage. So, don't want to go too hardcore on it. Basically, options is quite cheap. Show them lots of examples. So this is an example I did for Ricky's franchise. So again, it just follows this structure, really. What does it do? It's a bit different for him because he's selling franchises as well as individual selling clients into gyms. But what does it do? Well, we've got the UK's most popular 6-week challenge for women 30 plus. Boom. Our proven FBL3, holistic fitness system, etc., etc. Which, by the way, is actually my 3F system. We just renamed it to make it sound different. 3 steps. You can see, how does it work? 3 steps. Easy. Right? So you can see that I'm using this structure. This is a website I did for Stuart. So like, what does it do? Well, I help men and women 35 years plus build incredible bodies without this fitness crap taking over their lives. That's the kind of language that Stu uses. That's what his program does. Right, so it doesn't actually have to be hard. It's a really simple example that did for Joe. Again, just says what it does, says how it works, and it goes on from there. And this is Pete's example. Anyway, I'm not going to go through all of these. I just wanted to show you some examples. And this is an example of a website. Like, I didn't build this website. So I actually know the guy that owns this company, but I didn't build his website. But it's really interesting to me that, like, the framework I came up with over here, his website, and this guy does about 30 grand a month in revenue, like, it follows more or less this framework. So what does it do? Well, it's the only video platform for marketers guaranteed to increase conversions. Boom, one sentence. I know what it does. Right? So the next question, what am I thinking? Well, how the hell does that work? Scroll down. What is Vidalytics? And this just explains how it works. I go down. Again, this just breaks down the features, but what is it doing? It's explaining how it works, like the easiest way to boost mobile sales. So think about what I showed you with the 3F thing. So the feature, function, feeling, right? So what the guy that owns this company is called Patrick. So what Patrick's done is he's gone feature, function, feature, function, feature, function, right? Like, here's the feature, here's what it'll do for you. And in doing that, it just explains it really nicely. Like, how does it, because up here he said it's basically like the only platform for marketers guaranteed to increase conversions. Well, how does that work? Here's how it works. We've got this, 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 we've got this. Why this versus the alternative? Well, because he's got all of these, I'm already thinking like, wow, I've never seen anything like this before. Right? The new standard. So he starts answering this question, why this versus the alternative? Like, why use Vidalytics versus Vimeo or YouTube? Right? I get to this bit and I'm like, the new standard. I didn't even know there was a new standard. What the hell? So I'm going to start reading. Right? And now he's showing me, like, graphically. So I just wanted to show you that example, just to show you how powerful this little framework over here seems really simple, but how powerful it is. And I think if Brett redoes his website to follow roughly this, it will convert a lot more people, a lot more visitors into leads and applications, and obviously help him fill his program faster, which is what everybody wants. Any questions? Let me know. That's all I've got.